Hello BSS, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here then just welcome. Hi, my name is Brenda. I do paranormal videos here on my channel, so if that is something that you are interested in, please consider subscribing down below and turn on your post notifications so you do not miss when I post another video like this one. Now with all of that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into today's video. Hello everybody, welcome again, and happy Friday, happy weekend. It's finally the weekend. I know you're all excited and I am so happy to be here again reading you guys some more scary stories. And today we're actually going to be reading from the website that I've been going to a lot recently because of the Highway series and because it has a lot of scary stories that people have submitted, like endless amounts of them. And because I don't have very many in my inbox right now from my subscribers, I decided that I would just read some of these off here. They have stories from all over the world, in very many different countries, and it's all categorized, and they have a lot of different people who have submitted it throughout the years, like as far back as like 2010, 2007, like a lot of different stories like that. So what better way for me to share these stories than here on my channel? I think that you guys will really enjoy these. I'm gonna just pick a few random ones here and there just based on like my interests or what I find intriguing. And this first one is set here in the US, but specifically Hawaii. And as you guys know, I just recently visited again, and I wanted to learn about some of the places there that I might have not looked up before, and maybe experiences that people have had there paranormal wise. So this one specifically is just set there, and then we'll see what other stories I find and where they're based from. But this one is in the paranormal category of haunted places. It says, "This is one of two experiences that I had while stationed at Hickam Air Force Base as a security specialist on the island of Oahu, Hawaii in the mid-90s. This incident would occur in 1997. The first day we were processed in, the other troops there started telling us new guys ghost stories. I thought they were just messing with us until I had been there for a little while. It took all of one shift to start verifying the most prevalent story told on the base. It involves the 12th Air Force Headquarters building being haunted by the war dead of Pearl Harbor. The Pacific Air Force's PACAF command is also located in this building, so it is a very important place that requires strict security. There are manned security posts on the premises as well as state-of-the-art laser and camera systems blanketing the property, as it should be. Anyway, a little historical background on the building. During the Japanese attacks on Pearl Harbor, the building was used as a hospital and temporary morgue. Over 1,000 dead servicemen were stored there until their remains could be dealt with properly. Many of them would die in the building while being treated. There was so much blood that the cleanup required stringing of hoses throughout the building and washing the floors with scrub brushes. Pretty gruesome, and for sure sets a good stage for some paranormal happenings. Well, the first night on shift around 3 a.m., the motion alarms went nuts and the SRT, Special Response Team, was called to respond. I was training with the base patrol that night, so we went that way and provided backup. Every guy there seemed more tense than they should be. Something strange then happened to me. Instead of the SRT going in the building and clearing it, they simply reset the alarm and documented the occurrence. Anyone who knows anything about military security knows this is extremely unusual and not protocol. Well, when we returned to our patrol, I asked my FTO, Field Training Officer, why that just went down that way. This is what he told me. It happens every night, usually between 3 and 3:30. He also let me in on why there was a little shack outside of the front of the building, instead of the guard being posted at the CQ desk in the lobby of HQ. Almost every airmen that tried to work the post would refuse to stay in there because they would hear walking and inaudible talking, smell that was described as rotten meat or slaughterhouse smell, and the stairs in front of that location would squeak and vibrate violently on a regular basis. I was still thinking that this was them messing with me. It just seemed like it was a little too scripted. Man, was I wrong. For the next 6 months I was there, this alarm thing would occur each and every night between 3 and 3:30, just like the sergeant said. I saw military working dogs refuse to go in to search. Every dog would whimper, growl, and try to hide behind their handler. Those of you who know that military working dogs don't refuse service. I also witnessed grown men choose to sit on a stool in a 4x4 foot shack instead of at a nice desk in a spacious air-conditioned lobby. I quickly became one of those guys in the shack. I experienced the walking, talking, and stares all in about the first hour of my first shift on that post. My shift on the HQ post began at midnight, and by 1 a.m. or so, my time of trying to stay at the CQ desk was over. I was pretty shaken. I never experienced the smells, but would experience the sounds on several occasions. Then at 3:17 a.m., the alarm went off, motion detected in the basement and on the 3rd floor. There had been nobody there since 5 p.m., when the building had been secured for the evening. Peculiar thing, very seldom did anyone come back in the evening to work there alone. I think I remember only about 2 times in my 6 months that anyone came back to work after 5 p.m., and they did not stay long. In and out, so to speak. These are my experiences at the HQ building on Hickam AFB. I would be interested in knowing if there are any other former SF guys on this site who have had similar experiences while stationed there. It was creepy and I experienced these things on several occasions, but the alarm thing was every morning, without fail. Extremely unnerving place to work. The days off were great though. I can imagine. That is so wild. That was a good story because there's a lot of, I guess, evidence to back up that, not back up, but like to indicate that this place could possibly be haunted, because when tragic events happen and like it's like a historical event, and it's kind of just a given that there is going to be some kind of paranormal activity. A lot of repetitive things happen, it seems like. Maybe something like stuck on a loop for some reason, I don't know, but the alarm thing was very interesting, so pretty cool. Yeah, and then I just read this comment that said the motion detectors going off at the same time every night, the sounds and smells all seem to indicate a replay of past events. And those poor dogs. If the smells were strong enough to bother humans, no wonder the dogs refused to go in. The smell must have been truly overpowering their senses. Yeah, I can imagine. And maybe they were just scared. Maybe they're scared of the ghosts. They were like, I don't know what that is. I'm scared. I'm not going in there. But yeah, that's that story. Pretty interesting story overall. I really enjoyed that one though. So let's see what other story we can find on here really quick. Okay, this one kind of intrigued me just by the title. It's called The Midnight Drive. And this is from Pakistan, and it's a haunted places category. So let's see what this story is all about. It's a short one, so let's just take a look. It was winter of 1984. I was waiting for my classes in medical school to start. I had gone vacationing to a hill station, about 250 miles from my hometown. My mother was with me and I was driving my car myself. After staying there for about 3 days, we were returning home. We left during late evening hours. My mother had spent her youth in that region and she knew a shortcut to our hometown. Upon her suggestion, I took that. However, it did not prove to be a good idea as it was almost midnight when we reached the part of the road which was single and was hardly used by anyone. It was cold outside and the road was edged by thick bushes on both sides. So thick were the bushes that no one could enter them without getting hurt. My mother fell asleep on the passenger seat while I was driving quite vigilantly. Suddenly I saw a man coming out of the bushes, almost naked, and raised his thumb as if he wanted a lift. However, I did not stop and the car zoomed by him. However, a realization came to my mind immediately. It was so cold outside in the month of January, but the man I just saw was wearing a small lungi, a type of loin cloth worn by village guys in my country. Okay. Also, the bushes on the sides were so thick that nobody could go in and out of those easily or without getting hurt. I immediately looked through the back view mirror. I saw the center of the road in flames. Despite my claims of being fearless, I was shivering and I drove the car over the ton. I don't know what that means. My mom woke up and I told her what happened. I was not able to find a logical explanation of the scene. Maybe someone reading this can. Thank you for your time. Okay, that would be very scary to see. I wonder what the heck that was. I would have... actually, I don't know. I talk a big game, but I was about to say I would have gone back and seen what was on fire there. Oh my god, something scared me. I don't know what that was. Let's see if anyone in the comments said anything. Someone said a possible logical, okay, because I just read that. Explanation could be a spontaneous human combustion, which has not been proved, by the way. There's no proof that this is an actual phenomenon that happens, like for real. It's just a speculation that people have, that there's no other explanation other than they just set on fire randomly. I don't know how. But it says, in which a person burst into flame for no apparent reason. Though rare, there are some documented cases of this phenomenon. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know what that could have been. It could have just been an entity, and for whatever reason it was there, like a remnant spirit of some sort, reliving the way that they passed away, maybe. Let's see. I've heard a few supernatural stories over the years involving spirits turning into flames. It's hard to say exactly what it was that you experienced. Perhaps if you know the history of that place and if someone had died there. Also could have been something like that. The fact that he said that they were wearing just like a little piece of fabric at the front, kind of like some of the village people wear. Maybe it was somebody from the past, like just the apparition of some kind of event that happened there. That happened there maybe before it was constructed into a road and the bushes were grown there. Something along those lines. But that was a good story. It was nice, short and sweet, and still something that would have scared me altogether, Okay, let's do a third story here before call it an end to this video. One more story. Let me do a random place like Egypt. Egypt sounds fun. Let's do that. Okay, this one sounds interesting. She is going right off the bat, like, into this story. So this one is submitted by Manani, I think it's how you say it. And this was posted on June 11th, 2013. It's been a minute. And this is from Egypt under the category Apparitions, Voices, Touches. And it's titled Strange Sounds and Opening Doors. Let's see what this is about. She says, I apologize in advance for how disjointed this is. I'm not wasting any time before I post this. I've been reading many stories on this site and I've been trying to be as rational as possible, but this just can't be explained. It may sound silly, but it was enough to send me running downstairs to my parents' room, where I was hiding out while writing this. I'm 21 and this feels ridiculous. Could someone offer an explanation as to how my bedroom door, a heavy wooden double door, would just open inwards on its own? I heard strange noises, like men arguing or shouting as I approached the door, but I dismissed it, thinking it could be sounds from the street or something. Just a few weeks ago, I saw the scary face of an old woman a few seconds before a male voice spoke into my right ear. Something along the lines of,
"Let me introduce myself."
I was wide awake, sitting in bed. This, of course, terrified me, and I haven't slept in there since. I've been sleeping on the floor or couch or guest room or anywhere else I can. So after hiding for a while, I gathered enough courage to go upstairs again, asking my little sister to go in with me. I figured I'd rather face whatever was up there before the sun went down. We found that the balcony door was also open. If this had been wind, a strong, very strong gust of wind in the summer, 41 degrees Celsius weather, it might explain why the balcony door was blown open. But how on earth does it explain why my bedroom door opened? the wind would need to be blowing on the other side. So if anything, it would have shut the door, not opened it. A fact my sister pointed out. My sister had also been telling me she hears strange noises coming from my room. My brother, who sleeps in the room directly beneath it, said the same thing. He claims he hears weird bangs, at times when I'm fast asleep or not in the room. While my sister says she hears sounds of a strong wind moving around my mom. I did get chilly in there, back when I actually used to sleep in there. One strange occurrence that kept taking place was that I'd take a glass or bottle of water next to my bed, and when I woke up, it would be really cold, like I'd just taken it out of the fridge. Maybe there's a normal explanation for this? Thank you for taking the time to read this. Okay, I'm all for thinking up explanations for when things like this happen, but once you make up all these explanations for it and then like none of them are adding up, that's when it gets really scary, because then you're just like, what is actually going on in here? Because it's terrifying to not be able to be comfortable in your own home and feel like you're safe there because there's something going on there. I would just probably try to reach out to someone who knows about these paranormal things. Maybe they can bless the home or do something along those lines to get rid of whatever entity is there, whatever energy or spirit is taking place in your room, because I would love to know how long she had lived in here. I always try to go to the comments to see if there's any clarification. So somebody did ask how long she's lived in there. It says, we've lived in this house for around 3 years. The strange noises and eerie feeling have been there since day one. The doors opening on their own is one more recent though, as is the voice that spoke to me. Actually, more strange occurrences have been taking place since my siblings moved out that are a bit disturbing. Oh my god, that's even scarier. Like now she's on her own, because before she was like, hey, like my sister can go in there with me, like check it out, or my brother can like validate that I'm hearing these things. 3 years is a long time to be dealing with something like that, but I guess maybe if she was kind of ignoring it and not giving it any mind, maybe it was manageable. But now it seems like there's been some escalations and some more disturbing things happening to her, and she's just trying to like figure out why, especially now that, as I said, that she doesn't have anyone else with her. I feel like maybe they're taking advantage of that, and they're like, now she's by herself, now she is a bigger target to us, and now we're gonna scare her more. Whatever these ghosts are thinking, they're messed up for that. But yeah, maybe she's just is more sensitive to these things now as she's getting older, who knows. But I kind of want to read her other one, because she posted something else for that, and she titled it Running Out of Options, and it's not too long, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read it. So I came across this site by chance, but I think I'll give it a shot. If anything, it may just make me feel better sharing my experiences. Okay, so I don't know if this was before or after the other one, but this was before the other one. So let's just see what she had to say before everything else happened. First of all, I'm 21, and I always try to find rational explanations for everything, but for some things I just can't explain. And at this point, even after moving houses, strange things still happen. It's difficult to pinpoint when all of this started because it's been many years. I saw my first exorcism when I was a young child, hiding behind the door. I have seen several since then though, and had ones done on me. I've had sleep paralysis. I see dark and light shadows. Sometimes I see light of different colors around things, like auras. I think that's what she means. I've heard things whispering in my ear and touching me, pushing/choking when I'm wide awake. Oh my god, girl, what? I can feel if there's a strange presence in a room. I can smell strange things, which I believe to be a presence. And I have had dreams where people appear to me, deceased relatives of a friend, and told me things about his past, which turned out to be true. Now, I'm not sure if it's the house or my family, but since my grandmother died, she has been appearing to my mother in her sleep, with messages as well, usually predictions about the future, which are surprisingly accurate. My mother also believes that I see/hear/smell, feel what I do, as sometimes she can as well. I am currently concerned about the house I'm in. It's always been a bit creepy, and I've heard some unpleasant things about the people that lived here before us, and what they allegedly did in the house. Did something just turn off? Yeah, my little thing just turned off. I was like, what the heck was that? And what they allegedly did in the house. Torture and murder, possibly dabbling in the occult. But I can't blame the house alone though, because these things have been happening from before. If anything, as bad as this house is, it's still better than our last one. I'm just tired of being able to feel these things that most other people can't. Am I just going to keep having these experiences my whole life because it's to do with me? Or is this linked to my location, which I'm changing again soon? Oh my god, that is such a burden, dude. I'm always like, I don't think I would be able to handle having like a sixth sense to that degree, or like a third eye of some sort, because it's a lot of responsibility, first off, because sometimes these, based on what I've heard and what I've seen on like media, it feels like a lot of these spirits want to find people who are like mediums or who are psychic and like those kinds of things for unresolved matters, and sometimes just to mess with them because they are aware that you can sense them in a different way than most people do, like regular people that don't have that ability. I feel like they know that and they take advantage of it, and they go above and beyond with certain things, certain, I guess, methods that they try to reach out with. And you know, sometimes just even scaring, it seems like they just want to scare the person and make them see like really scary things and stuff like that. So it's crazy that that's something that she goes through like on a daily, and has been since she can remember. But that's what I wanted to know too. Somebody says, I'm very confused and a little worried. Exactly how many exorcisms have you witnessed, and how many have you had? How have you had occasion to just watch exorcisms being performed? That's what I wanted to know as well. I don't know if it's part of the culture, maybe for her family, I don't know. But let's see if she has a response. And she did say, I saw my first exorcism when I was a child. We were at a monastery and it was being performed on a relative of mine. As I was very young, I was told to go outside and play. I wasn't supposed to see anything, but I got curious as to why all the adults were in a room and crept up to the door to see what was happening. I saw it from behind the door, but no one knew I was there until later. Dark magic is common here, and people cast spells that you need a religious figure to break. As one of my relatives had a powerful spell cast on them, I have witnessed their exorcism many times. As you need to go to a religious figure to do this, you find other people there for the same reason, so I see some other things as well. As for me, I have never, thank God, been possessed, but my mother was worried someone might have cast a spell on me, so she had me visit these religious people who performed a prayer, but then told me I was fine and that things I witnessed, dark shadows, choking, etc., is a test of faith. Okay. It started out as a joke. I was reading about auras but was very skeptical. I tried to see if I could actually see anything, however, just by focusing, and I got scared as I realized I could see different colors around different family members. To be honest, it scares me, and I try not to notice them anymore. Girl, I would be too. I would just try to, as much as possible, ignore my abilities, as bad as that sounds. I feel like other people are like, oh my god, I would love to be able to see these kinds of things. I feel like it kind of could become a burden at some point. Yeah, this story was so good, and I wish she had more on here, but it looks like those are her only 2 submissions since 2013, and I hope she's doing well. I hope that she figured out how to manage her gift, if you want to call it that, her ability, and that she lives a normal life, because that would be a lot to go through as somebody who is 21 years old at that time, and have to figure out like what it all means. And then hopefully by now she doesn't live in constant fear all the time, and she's learned her abilities a little bit more. So that's going to be the last story for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed me reading these stories from this website. They are so much fun. There's so many different kinds of stories here. It's crazy, and I could keep reading these kinds if you guys want me to. Just let me know in the comments. That way I know kind of I can gauge what you guys like more. And yeah, that's going to be it from me, you guys. If you did make it all the way to the end of this video, make sure to comment a little book emoji. I don't know why, just that's the only one that came to my brain right now. I'm tired. I've been filming for a long time. Yeah, that way I know who stayed all the way to the end, and if you did, just know that I really appreciate it, and I know that you're a real one now. I know that me and you are besties for real. And also, today's comment shout out goes to this person right here. Thank you so much for leaving a nice comment. As always, I really appreciate it, and it really does make my day. And that's it, guys. Thank you again for watching. Hopefully I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to stay safe and be kind. Bye.